All right, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Terence Crawford and the fact that he says that the Shawn Porter fight is going to happen, but he has been blackballed by the PBC and other things that he said, like he doesn't need a big fight in order to be, in order for his legacy to be secured. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So before I get into the subject matter of the video though, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Plus hit the like button, hit the share button. It goes a long way towards helping grow the channel and it is greatly appreciated. So in this video, we're gonna talk about Terence Crawford, and honestly, man, I am stuck between loving the guy and despising the guy. But hey, at the end of the day, he is himself. He chose who he is, and he's honest about it. So you gotta gotta appreciate it. And so he gave an interview on the fight game with Teddy Atlas's podcast, and he gave a wide-ranging interview. I think he was very very honest, and just because you don't necessarily agree with somebody doesn't mean that you can't, give them credit for being, as straightforward as they can be. So it's one of the questions that he was asked. He's asked a series of questions, and I thought all of them were really interesting stuff. He was asked about the Shawn Porter fight and whether or not that fight was done. And then that led into discussions about him being blackballed by Top Rank, by the PBC. So let's go through it. First thing he talked about was the PBC is the Shawn Porter fight. And he was like, yeah, we don't know if that fight is done yet. They're still negotiating. The specifics of it that he doesn't know. However, if it doesn't get done in the negotiation portion of it, then it's going to go to purse bid. And then he said that he said that the fight is definitely going to happen. So that is one thing to know for sure, that the fight is going to happen, provided, of course, that Shawn Porter doesn't pull out of the purse bid and just refuse to do it. But the way that the purse bid works is that, you get 30 days, I do believe, from the time that they order the fight to get a fight negotiated between the parties. If the parties can't come to some type of conclusion and agree to a deal between each other, then the fight goes to purse bid, and then qualified promoters get to bid on the fight, and whoever bids on the highest amount on the fight and puts down their deposit, right, is the one that gets to air the fight. And so as far as he's concerned, more than likely, it sounds like it's going to go to a purse bid, even though they still have time. They still have time to work it out. But the thing that gets me is when he was asked, do you think that you need these big fights like this Shawn Porter fight, to cement your legacy? And he was like, he said, no, I don't think that I don't think that I do. He said that he had a goal when he turned pro, and that goal was to win a championship. And once he won that championship, he feels like his career was successful, and everything else is just, is just extra, right? So I was just like, does that makes like he said he's not the type of person that's just going to be adding on goal after goal after goal after goal, and that he is content at where his career is, and that, defending his title, earning a living for his kids is where his mindset was, and it's where it is now, which should explain his lack of an interest in really pushing for big fights, because most champions say that they are looking to add to their legacy. They're trying to be a 3-division, 4-division champion, but Terence Crawford is just saying that he had 2 more goals. One was to be an undisputed champion at 140, and now he wants to be an undisputed champion at 147. So, but I'm not sure how you can do that without having the big fights. Now, the part that he started talking about with being frustrated, he expressed frustration. It sounded like both on the Top Rank side and the and the PBC side, because he said that he'd been trying, to get the fights that he really wanted to have is the fight with Errol Spence Jr. and the fight with Manny Pacquiao. And that, honestly, for him saying that he really wanted to have a fight with Errol Spence Jr. is an advancement from what he had been saying before, and shows you a little bit of the personality of Terence Crawford, that he can be kind of snarky and sarcastic and just kind of a difficult dude to talk to, because he had said on multiple occasions that he didn't care about having Errol Spence Jr. fight. He was past it, and now he's saying that he wants the Errol Spence Jr. fight. Now, this was obviously the interview that I'm referring to was made before Errol Spence pulled out of the Manny Pacquiao fight, so I'm not sure if that affects it at all. It shouldn't affect it, but he still said that he wanted to have these fights. So it's like he's going one way and he's going another way in the same time. But But the one thing that just didn't sit well with me is that he felt like he was being blackballed. He was being led on by Top Rank as far as the Manny Pacquiao fight. And I believe that is obviously the truth, because he said that they had been waving the Manny Pacquiao fight in front of him since he had beaten Derry Jean. And Derry Jean was a fight early on in his 140-pound career, well before he actually, that Derry Jean fight might have been 5-6 years ago. That they had been leading him on with the possibility of having the Manny Pacquiao fight, but never showing up with the Manny Pacquiao fight. But he felt like he was, but the PBC, he said some stuff that was like, that I can't condone, because he's saying that they, why would they want me to come over there and beat their champions and have me leave with the belts that they had before, and vice versa? Why would Top Rank have set up a fight with me, with them, knowing that if I lose, that they could walk away with the belts that belong to Top Rank? Now, that is all fair and good, but I don't think, from my understanding, that there has ever been any real offers for a fight between Terence Crawford and anybody else either from Top Rank or from the PBC. There doesn't seem like there was any discussion being made about them. But all in all, I'm just really happy that that we are at a point where Terence Crawford is going to be able to get a big marquee fight, the fight against Shawn Porter, and then from there we can see how everything goes, because I'm really getting kind of tired of being on the anti Terence Crawford tip, because the dude seems like he's a nice guy. He's definitely a very, very excellent fighter, and somebody that I root for whenever he's in the ring. I don't want to see him lose. Now I might prefer Errol Spence Jr. over him because of the politics and the things that have happened over a couple of years, but I still like Terence Crawford, and I absolutely wish him the best, and I hope that he does get everything that he wants in his legacy and all that. But first step is to fight Shawn Porter, so hopefully those guys will work that out and get that fight done. Anyway, that's my take on the scenario. You let me know what you think, and with that, I'm out. Peace.